Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another Walking Dead character video. Today's episode will be on Greg, a member of Woodbury and a prison resident. Greg is of course male. He is played by Greg Cruz. He is late 30s to early 40s and first appeared in 30 Days Without an Accident. Or did he? Nothing is known about Greg's life pre-outbreak, but the actor who plays Greg did reveal he also played an extra in the flashback in Season 2's Chupacabra. Now, I tried my best to find him, and I checked with the wiki people as well, but there's honestly no sight of him, but let's take it as gospel. So, Greg travelled to Atlanta looking for safety when the outbreak began, and got injured at some point, and thus was wrapped in bandages. But the traffic, obviously the big traffic jam, didn't allow him to get into the city, so then he watched the city be bombed by the military. Oh my god. Sometime after this, Greg found his way to Woodbury, a walled community ran by the governor. Now, he isn't seen in Season 3 at all, but during the events of that season, he must have hunkered down in his house. He also wasn't selected to be in the governor's militia, so maybe he had a health problem that prevented him from fighting, as the governor did enlist all able-bodied men and women over the age of 14. After the governor massacres his people, Greg goes with Rick and the others on the bus back to the prison. Now, personally, I think he's the guy driving the bus. We never see this bus driver again. I don't even think we know who the actor is who played the bus driver. But he is played by a different actor, that's for sure. But to be honest, they look kind of similar. And like I said before, all the able-bodied men and women were meant to be fighting in the governor's militia. So I buy that Greg had some sort of health issue, or he lied about some sort of health issue. He got out of the battle, and then later he's seen driving the bus here. This would also suggest that maybe Greg was a truck or a bus driver before the outbreak. We're all over the place with this one, aren't we? But we're learning about Greg, so hey. Anyway, in Season 4, Greg is first seen eating along with some kids and Owen's mother. He sees Daryl walk by and says morning to the man who brought them a deer the other day. Later, Greg checks the bus with Mr. Jacobson. This furthers the theory that Greg is the bus driver in Season 3. I mean, he's checking on a bus after all. I mean, what more evidence do you want? He's a bus driver. Get over it. That night, Greg gets some slumber and he coughs in his sleep, likely developing the prison flu. However, this sleepy cough grabs the attention of a Walker Patrick. Unbeknownst to Greg, Patrick stumbles into his room, lurks over him, and does this to Greg. Jugular ripped out by a Walker Patrick. Despite waking up, poor Greg is unable to scream because Patrick is gnawing on his throat and has ripped out his vocal cords, so momentarily as he bleeds out he has to watch as Patrick bites into him. Absolutely brutal. Greg eventually does die, and all throughout the night and into the morning, Patrick begins to devour Greg's body, getting into his guts and everything. Patrick, though, soon leaves because he hears a little cough, and Greg comes back as a walker. Walker Greg spills his guts on the floor as he gets out of bed, heading out to help Walker Patrick cause some chaos. Now, off screen, Walker Greg attacks and kills at least one other resident. He's seen chowing down on some leg when he sees Luke. He goes after Luke, wanting a little bite-sized snack. But Daryl runs in, grabs the boy, and then turns around and shoots a crossbow bolt into Greg's eye, putting him down for good. Greg is then buried in the prison grounds. R.I.P. Greg. Greg may have been a minor character, but his journey reflected the harsh realities of the apocalypse. From Woodbury to the prison, his tragic end was a grim reminder that no one is safe. Rest in peace, good old Greg. You won't be forgotten, especially you won't be forgotten for driving that damn bus, okay? That was you. That was Greg. That was Greg. I'm telling you, it was Greg. Anyway, tell me your thoughts on Greg, and I'll see you in the next one. And no, there is no wheel today, because many months ago, I did a poll asking what theme you wanted to see next. Basically, we used to do this thing called themes, right, where for 10 episodes, we just did a themed, we looked at characters that went under an umbrella of a theme. And anyway, in that poll many months ago, you voted to have the theme of kids. So I'm going to be honouring that. A year late, but hey ho. Basically, this means starting next Friday, we will be doing daily, I repeat, daily character profiles for 10 episodes straight. And they will be on children characters, kid characters, okay? And then after that, we'll be back on the normal schedule. So look forward to that. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.